Everything you experience in life begins twice. It is first created in the invisible world of thought, and only afterward does it begin to take shape through your decisions, habits, and actions. Before a building stands tall against the sky, it exists as a blueprint in the mind of an architect. Before a champion lifts a trophy, victory has been imagined and rehearsed countless times. Before a musician performs before thousands, every note has already been played over and over in the theater of the mind. Your life follows the same pattern. Whether you realize it or not, the pictures you repeatedly hold in your imagination influence the direction of your attention, the confidence behind your choices, and the persistence you bring to every challenge. The future you are moving toward is being shaped by the thoughts you choose to nurture today. Many people spend their days focusing on limitations, replaying past disappointments, and expecting more obstacles than opportunities. When the mind becomes filled with fear, it naturally notices reasons to hesitate. When it becomes filled with possibility, it begins noticing paths that were always there but previously overlooked. This is not because the world has magically changed overnight. It is because your perception has changed, and perception influences the decisions you make. A person who believes growth is possible is more likely to learn, practice, ask questions, and continue after setbacks. Those actions increase the likelihood of meaningful progress. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine the person you truly want to become. Picture yourself standing with confidence, speaking with clarity, working with purpose, and living according to your highest values. Make the image vivid. Feel the satisfaction of making steady progress toward your goals. Imagine the gratitude you would experience as your efforts begin producing results. The more clearly you define the destination in your mind, the easier it becomes to recognize choices that move you in that direction. Your imagination becomes a guide that helps align your daily actions with your long-term vision. Every thought you repeat is like planting a seed in fertile ground. Some seeds grow into confidence, discipline, and resilience. Others grow into doubt, hesitation, and excuses. The mind responds to what it is fed consistently. If you fill it with encouragement, constructive ideas, and meaningful goals, you create conditions that support better decisions. If you constantly reinforce defeat, your motivation can gradually weaken. That is why it is important to become aware of your inner dialogue and replace unhelpful patterns with thoughts that encourage learning, persistence, and purposeful action. Remember that a powerful vision alone is not enough. A clear mental picture should inspire consistent effort. When your thoughts, emotions, and daily actions begin working together, each small step builds upon the last. Over time, those small steps can produce remarkable changes that once seemed impossible. The reality you experience tomorrow is influenced by the mindset you cultivate today. So choose thoughts that strengthen your character, expand your perspective, and inspire you to take the next meaningful step toward the life you want to create. There is a level of your mind that most people rarely experience because they are constantly surrounded by noise, pressure, endless distractions, and racing thoughts. They wake up thinking about problems, rush through the day reacting to circumstances, and fall asleep carrying the same mental weight they started with. In that constant state of tension, it becomes difficult to think clearly, recognize opportunities, or make thoughtful decisions. Yet the moment you intentionally quiet your mind, something remarkable begins to happen. You create space for greater focus, creativity, and awareness. Instead of reacting to everything around you, you begin responding with purpose, and that shift can influence every area of your life. Imagine standing beside a lake during a powerful storm. The water is rough, the surface is constantly moving, and you cannot see what lies beneath it. Now imagine that the wind slowly disappears, the waves settle, the water becomes still, and suddenly everything below the surface becomes visible. Your mind works in much the same way. When it is overwhelmed with stress and distraction, your thinking becomes clouded. When it becomes calm and centered, ideas become clearer, solutions seem easier to recognize, and your attention is no longer scattered in every direction. A relaxed mind is not a weak mind. It is a focused mind, capable of seeing possibilities that anxiety often hides. Take a few moments each day to slow your breathing, release unnecessary tension, and allow your thoughts to settle. As your body relaxes, let your attention gently move away from worry and toward the future you are intentionally creating. Picture yourself achieving your goals with confidence and composure. Imagine every detail as clearly as possible, allowing yourself to experience the feelings of gratitude, determination, and quiet certainty that accompany meaningful progress. This practice is not about escaping reality. It is about preparing your mind to meet reality with greater clarity and purpose. When your mind enters a calm and focused state, you become more intentional about the choices you make. Instead of acting from fear, frustration, or impulse, you are better able to pause, evaluate, and respond wisely. That single moment of awareness can change the direction of an entire day. It can improve conversations, strengthen relationships, increase productivity, and help you remain committed to your goals even when challenges appear. Great achievements are rarely built on moments of panic. They are built on repeated moments of clear thinking followed by consistent action. The world around you may not always become quieter, but you can train yourself to become calmer within it. Every time you choose stillness over chaos, focus over distraction, and purpose over fear, you strengthen one of the greatest abilities you possess. A peaceful mind is not the end of the journey. It is the foundation from which disciplined action, wise decisions, and lasting progress continue to grow. Every great accomplishment begins with a vision that exists long before anyone else can see it. Long before a dream becomes visible in the outside world, it is carefully shaped within the imagination. The mind has an incredible ability to rehearse success before success arrives, allowing you to become familiar with the future you are working to create. Instead of waiting for confidence to appear after achieving your goal, begin building that confidence now by seeing yourself already living the life you desire. The clearer and more detailed the picture becomes, the more naturally your thoughts, emotions, and daily choices begin moving in the same direction. Do not simply imagine reaching the finish line. Experience it with every sense you possess. See the place where your dream has become real. Notice the colors, the light, the expressions on the faces of the people around you, and the environment that surrounds your success. Hear the sounds that would fill that moment. Feel the excitement, the gratitude, the peace, and the quiet confidence that come from knowing you stayed committed to your purpose. The more vividly you engage your imagination, the more meaningful the experience becomes. Your mind responds more strongly to images that are rich with emotion than to ideas that remain vague and distant. Many people make the mistake of focusing only on what they do not have. They constantly remind themselves of the gap between where they are and where they want to be. As a result, discouragement grows stronger than determination. Instead, begin placing your attention on the direction you are moving. Celebrate every small improvement, every lesson learned, and every step forward. A vision of the future becomes more powerful when it inspires appreciation for the progress already taking place. Gratitude creates a mindset that encourages persistence, especially when challenges arise. As you continue this practice, allow your imagined future to influence the way you carry yourself in the present. Ask yourself how the person you aspire to become would think, speak, learn, and respond to difficulties. Then begin adopting those habits today. Confidence grows through repeated action, and visualization can serve as a reminder of the standards you want to live by. When your daily behavior reflects the future you envision, your actions become more consistent with your long-term goals. Over time, those consistent choices can produce meaningful and measurable change. Your imagination is not meant to replace effort. It is meant to strengthen it. A clear vision provides direction, while disciplined action provides momentum. Together, they help you stay focused even when progress feels slow or obstacles appear. Every day you return to that vision with clarity, hope, and determination. You reinforce the belief that your future is something you can actively shape through learning, persistence, and purposeful action. The life you wish to create becomes more attainable when you first learn to see it clearly within your own mind and then commit yourself to taking the next practical step toward making that vision a reality. Fear has a quiet way of influencing life without announcing its presence. It rarely arrives with loud warnings or obvious signs. Instead, it whispers that you should wait a little longer, that you are not ready yet, that someone else is more talented, more fortunate, or more capable than you. If those thoughts are repeated often enough, they begin to feel like facts even when they are only assumptions. The greatest limitation is often not the obstacle standing in front of you, but the story you keep repeating within your own mind. The moment you begin questioning those limiting beliefs, you take the first step toward replacing them with thoughts that support growth, courage, and purposeful action. Faith is not the absence of uncertainty. It is the decision to move forward even when every answer is not yet visible. It is choosing to believe that today's effort has value, even before tomorrow's results appear. Every successful person has faced moments when the outcome was unclear. What separated them was not perfect certainty, but the willingness to continue learning, adapting, and working despite the unknown. When you replace fear with confident expectation, you stop allowing temporary setbacks to define your future. Instead, you begin viewing them as lessons that strengthen your ability to succeed over time. Think about how different your life would feel if every morning you expected opportunities instead of problems. Imagine beginning each day believing that your preparation would help you recognize new possibilities, that your persistence would improve your skills, and that every challenge could teach you something valuable. Your posture would change, your conversations would become more optimistic, and your decisions would reflect greater confidence. People are naturally drawn to those who approach life with hope, determination, and a willingness to keep moving forward. Positive expectation does not guarantee immediate success, but it often encourages the behaviors that make success more likely. Whenever fear begins speaking to you, pause before accepting its message. Ask yourself whether that thought is based on evidence or simply on habit. Replace statements such as, I will probably fail, with thoughts like, I am prepared to learn, improve, and give my best effort. Replace, I cannot do this, with, I can develop the skills required through practice and persistence. These simple shifts do not deny reality. They encourage a mindset that supports resilience instead of surrender. The way you speak to yourself influences how you respond to challenges, and your response often shapes the opportunities that follow. Choose every day to strengthen belief rather than doubt, hope rather than discouragement, and determination rather than hesitation. Let your expectations be grounded in preparation, your confidence be supported by consistent effort, and your vision be reinforced through meaningful action. As fear gradually loses its influence, you create room for greater clarity, stronger habits, and wiser decisions. With each courageous step you take, you prove to yourself that progress belongs to those who refuse to let uncertainty control their future and who continue moving toward their goals with patience, persistence, and unwavering commitment. Your subconscious mind is constantly learning from what you repeatedly think, say, imagine, and do. It does not become shaped by a single moment of inspiration or one burst of motivation. Instead, it responds to consistency. Every repeated thought becomes more familiar, every repeated action becomes easier, and every repeated belief gradually influences the way you approach life. This is why your daily mental habits matter so much. If you continually focus on growth, learning, discipline, and possibility, those ideas become a natural part of your mindset. If you constantly repeat thoughts of fear, limitation, and defeat, those patterns can become deeply rooted as well. The direction of your life is often determined not by what you think once, but by what you think every single day. Imagine your mind as a fertile garden. Every thought is a seed that has the potential to grow. Seeds of confidence, gratitude, patience, and determination produce habits that support meaningful progress. Seeds of doubt, resentment, worry, and negativity compete for the same space. The garden does not choose which seeds to grow. It simply responds to what is planted and nurtured most often. That is why you must become intentional about the thoughts you allow to take root. Every morning offers an opportunity to plant new seeds that align with the person you are becoming rather than the fears you are leaving behind. One of the most effective ways to strengthen empowering beliefs is through intentional repetition. Speak words that remind you of your potential, your commitment, and your willingness to improve. Repeat statements that encourage discipline, resilience, and purpose. Do not repeat them as empty phrases, but as meaningful reminders of the direction you have chosen. As you continue reinforcing these ideas, combine them with clear mental pictures of yourself acting with confidence, solving problems, learning new skills, and achieving worthwhile goals. When positive thoughts are paired with vivid imagination and followed by consistent effort, they become far more influential than words spoken without conviction. Dot. It is equally important to repeat constructive actions. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, complete a task despite discomfort, or choose persistence over excuses, you reinforce a powerful message within your mind. You prove that your goals are supported by behavior rather than wishful thinking. Small victories repeated consistently become powerful evidence that you are capable of growth. Over time, these repeated actions shape habits, and those habits gradually shape character. Success is rarely created by one extraordinary decision. More often, it is the result of ordinary decisions made with extraordinary consistency. Be patient with the process, because meaningful change is rarely immediate. Just as a tree does not grow overnight, lasting transformation develops through steady care and repetition. Continue feeding your mind with thoughts that encourage wisdom, confidence, gratitude, and determination. Continue visualizing the future you are building while taking practical steps toward it every day. Every repetition strengthens the foundation of the person you are becoming. As your thoughts, beliefs, habits, and actions become more aligned, you create a mindset that supports lasting progress, meaningful achievement, and a life guided by purpose instead of circumstance. A clear vision without action remains only an idea. You can imagine the life you want, picture your success in vivid detail, and fill your mind with confidence. But unless those thoughts inspire meaningful effort, your dreams remain unfinished. The purpose of visualization is not to escape reality, but to prepare yourself to engage with it more effectively. Every image you create in your mind should encourage you to take one more step, learn one more lesson, improve one more skill, and move one day closer to the future you have chosen. Real transformation happens when your thoughts and your actions begin working together in the same direction. Many people wait for the perfect moment before they begin. They tell themselves they will take action when they feel completely confident, when circumstances improve, or when every obstacle has disappeared. That moment rarely arrives. Progress belongs to those who begin with what they have, where they are, and continue moving forward despite uncertainty. Every meaningful achievement is built through a series of small decisions made consistently over time. A single page written each day becomes a book. A single workout repeated regularly builds strength. A single new lesson learned each day develops valuable knowledge. Great accomplishments are often the result of ordinary actions performed with extraordinary consistency. Each morning, remind yourself of the future you are creating, and then ask one simple question: what action can I take today that moves me closer to that vision? The answer does not need to be dramatic. It may be making an important phone call, practicing a skill, reading a chapter, improving your plan, solving a problem, or completing a task you have been avoiding. Small actions may appear insignificant in isolation, but when repeated day after day, they create momentum. Momentum builds confidence because every completed action becomes proof that you are committed to your purpose. Dot. There will be days when motivation feels strong, and there will also be days when enthusiasm fades. Do not allow your progress to depend entirely on emotion. Build habits that continue even when excitement is low. Discipline allows you to keep moving when inspiration is quiet. Every time you choose action over procrastination, learning over excuses, and persistence over surrender, you strengthen your character. Challenges no longer become reasons to stop. Instead, they become opportunities to grow wiser, stronger, and more capable than you were before. Trust that every sincere effort has value, even when immediate results are not visible. Seeds grow beneath the surface long before anyone sees the first signs of life. In much the same way, your consistent actions are developing skills, experience, resilience, and confidence that will eventually become visible through your achievements. Continue seeing your destination clearly, continue believing in your ability to grow, and continue taking practical steps every single day. When focused thinking, constructive belief, disciplined habits, and purposeful action come together, you place yourself in the strongest possible position to create meaningful success and build a life that reflects your highest vision and your greatest potential.